morning. Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
This is the last Monday of the year.
Woo
I
woo.
feel like I almost wanted to fall out in saying that. The last Monday of the year, and just super excited to say we made it. It is the end of the year, closing out 2022. Of course, getting ready for the holiday season, and I've got to say, guys, we made it. We made
We
it.
made it. We survived.
I was coming too, but then it was just like JT ended it with I. That was the note too. That was exactly the same note. Boom, right there. All right, y'all. Listen, we have celebrated Christmas, even though we still have on our holiday colors. And we are getting ready to go into the new year. So I have to ask you guys, what was your major takeaway from the weekend?
Well, New Year's Day is my birthday. So I want to thank y'all for celebrating me on top of the new year. I mean, I'm just saying, whether you knew it or not, you celebrated me. So thank you. I felt it.
Whether you knew it or not.
Yeah, whether you knew it or not,
Well,
you did it.
We are how many days away from, let me look at it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, y'all. So listen, last Monday of 2022, we are the day after Christmas, and we have 5 days to celebrate Dr. Danny's birthday. So when the show returns on January the 2nd, we want to know what you guys have sent Dr. Danny for her birthday. I can't wait to hear some of the amazing stories of things that she has received, because she's always sewing into us with our amazing affirmations to start us off in the morning. So with that being said, Dr. Danny, we're going to go right into our moment of affirmation. And then I got something that I need to ask the two of you before we kick it over to JT, the brand master, for a little bit of inspiration. So Dr. Danny, we're going to go to you for our moment of affirmation.
Yes. Wait, I've got some green affirmation glasses to put on today. 'Cause
Okay.
I am all about coordinating. Okay, all right.
Okay,
So
let's
here
go.
is the
Neon
affirmation
lights.
this morning. Yes. I can change my circumstances by first changing my mindset. I can change the world by first changing my perspective. Change begins with me. I am a change agent.
Come on.
Y'all know I like to do a quick rewind, because I am a change agent too. I am a change agent. Dr. Danny, I love that. Give that to the people one more time.
One more time, change agents. I can change my circumstances by first changing my mindset. I can change the world by first changing my perspective. And change begins with me. I am a change agent.
Oh, yeah. I am a change agent. Now, that is perfect. I promise you guys, Dr. Danny and I did not plan this, because my next question is going to help us go into the new year, right? And I know that the vision board parties are getting ready to come on, and people are going to be booking those. Now, let me just throw this out there. If you need somebody to do a vision board party for you, go ahead and hit up Dr. Danny. I'm going to volunteer her for that, because if you need someone to consult you through that, she's got you. Now, you can contact JT too. They're on. Raise your hands, guys. Raise your hands. They can definitely get you the vision. All right. But I want to ask you too this question before we go into our moment of inspiration. And it's centered around this holiday season. A lot of people go broke, spending money on gifts and trying to do what they think is the work of Christ in the holiday season. Want to ask you guys, how are you starting off your new year with sowing and giving? What are you sowing? What are you saving? Financially, spiritually, mentally, and what are you also giving as you go into the new year? So as people are connected to the conversation, don't forget to like and share this out with other people. But I want to break some generational curses, because we try to keep up with the Joneses a lot of times. And so my gift to everybody going into the new year is helping us break the mindset of being broke because we're trying to keep up with the Joneses. So, Dr. Danny, JT Brandmaster, share with us some things that you plan on doing in regards to sewing in the 2023 year, and also things that you want to be able to give.
So I'm a firm believer that how you start things is almost how you end things too. And it's not being superstitious, but I have seen a pattern. And so this year I wanted to start the year off with really dedicating a week off to pour into me. So I'm starting a week later in the year because I can, and I've said I will. Mm-hmm. So this year, that first week is dedicated to everything Dr. Danny wants to do, starting it off with meditation and prayer and fasting, but also too, like creating the space, the time where I make myself a priority, because I really want that to be a best practice this year. And making myself a priority means being good to myself. And that means in all areas, planting seeds financially, sowing seeds where I'm saving more, and even sowing seeds into the ministry more. So that's kind of where my mindset is this year.
I love it.
Boom. Let me see. I'm going to heighten up my physical and spiritual self for next year, and I'm going to actively follow through. There's a lot of ideas that I have, and the ideas are phenomenal up here. But sometimes when it's time to put that action forward, that whole tendency to be kind of pulled back from it, it rises up. So I'm wanting to kind of manage that and actually follow through with all the ideas that I have in my mentor. So yeah, that's my focus. That's my actions for 2023. I tried to find something that rhymed year of 2023, but I can't find anything that rhymes. So if I find something, I'm going to yell it out during the show. So
how about 2023? Be good to me.
Oh yeah, come on. I'll be good. You know, I like the little shoulder. I like the shoulder thing. It's so funny. But I love, y'all know I always am feeling what you guys say. So I really appreciate you guys being on the spot, just answering that, because I want to help people, guide them into being their best selves in the new year. And JT, you took me back, or it could have been the music that took me back too, but you took me back to when churches back in the day, I'm saying back in the day, like wow, but back in the day growing up, used to have the best slogans for going into the new year. That's what I remember growing up as a kid, and even my early young adulthood. I'm like, man, they used to come up with the best slogans, and I feel like that started going away after I was like spiritually mature enough to contribute. Like, okay, I got me a good one now, and it's like, oh, they ain't doing that no more. And I'm like, man, like by the time I'm able to come up and create one, it's like I just started doing it in my classroom. But anyway, you reminded me of that, JT. So I'm gonna pass the mic back to you, brother, so you could give us our morning inspiration, and we're ready.
Well, since the year is not over, my inspiration to you is you still have time. You still have time.
Yeah.
It's the 26th, which means we have 5 more days before it transitions over, and you still have time to make the adjustments. You still have time to press forward. You still have time to let them go. You still have time to shoot your shot. You still have time to write out your plan. You still have time to forgive the ones that you didn't forgive in this year. You still have time to apologize. You still have time to make it happen. And there's still time for the things that you wanted to happen to still happen in this year. So don't think just because of the date situation that things are going. No, there's still time. And I'm speaking to you, everything that you see around you, it can look like who you are. You just have to be adamant and intentional about making sure that what's in you changes everything around you instead of allowing things around you to change what's in you. All right, so you still have time to make that impact. Let's do it.
Let me tell you, I was trying to find a good praise break. Just insert, and I cannot find one. But let me tell you, if you didn't catch it, I need y'all to go ahead and catch that. JT, that was phenomenal. You still have time.
You still have time.
That is powerful, y'all. I'm not gonna be churchy at all, but you do still have time, because time is of the essence, y'all. So thank you for that inspiration, JTD Brandmaster. Now, y'all already know what time it is. Again, if you are into this conversation, make sure you like, share, comment. We want to know your thoughts. We want you to be engaged. Now, also too, end of the year, big push for forgiveness.
Yeah.
I shared with you guys, I want to say maybe the second episode, my grandfather, my father's father, passed away this year, and there was no closure. And I really, to be honest, I struggled with that about a week and a half ago, because I'm so connected with tradition in regards to legacy and lineage. And I was so disappointed in how our generation had an opportunity to end a generational cycle that had happened, and we couldn't come together and do it. And so just being able to repair that and move forward. So I'm pushing for people to forgive. Don't sweat the small things, but that doesn't mean overlook them either, because you need to address those small things that will, start to fester up and be like, boom, it's a big thing. So forgiveness, y'all, you still have time to forgive in this season and start a new season better. Now, we finna drop y'all on this big question. We finna drop the year with this. Okay, I need a moment of silent reflection. Everybody hold your hand up.
Can I ask a quick question though, before we get to the big question? Because this is about what you just said with forgiveness. Do y'all ever take time to forgive yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Do you make time to forgive yourself?
Because
I don't think people do that. I think people make it external and they don't start with themselves. But you really should take the time to forgive yourself before anybody else.
That's good.
Yeah. And I want to
let me just no, go ahead, JT.
No, go, Jason.
No, you go.
Okay. I was going to say, and what I want to tell people that I had to get checked on, don't say I'm going to wait till the new year. Start now. Start now. One of my friends was like, yeah, you need to do no. I was like, right. I said, so when the new year, he was like, why are you waiting till the new year? Start now. And I was like, me right now? Yes. And I think that sometimes needs to be that shocker, that shifting everything around you to let know, hey, change is coming. The best time to really shift your atmosphere is when you surprise and you show up differently. So I should start now. No, don't wait and give yourself 5 days, because you probably won't do it when the first comes around.
Yeah.
So do it now. Do it now. I feel you on that, man.
What if you ain't here on the first? What if you ain't here?
What if you? That is deep. Y'all don't take me there, because I have really been thinking a lot about that. I'm like, people have been leaving here like nobody's business. So
I want you to go there. Go there.
What if you're not here on the first? So don't wait. Time is of the essence. Whew, that kind of shifted things for me, Dr. Danny. Lord have mercy. All right, now we about to bring y'all this fire. So we ready, y'all. We ready. We finna go into the big question. Now, I'm excited because this is gonna be fun, but it's also gonna be heavy. So I hope y'all are ready for the big question. Here we go. For our final episode of 2022, closing out December, we want to know, does racism stop existing during Christmas and the Christmas holiday season? All right, does racism stop existing during Christmas? Y'all know it's real. Y'all know it's real. Okay? Now, right after Halloween, after everybody done dressed up in blackface and we done had all these issues with blackface of Halloween, the Queen of Christmas arises, Mariah Carey. We start hearing it right after Halloween. We're going into the Thanksgiving season and the Christmas season. People are happy. Some people are, secluded because of what the holiday season represents for them. However, we start to see a lot of everybody's joyful, everybody's happy. And I'm like, okay, this is great. And, people are like, yay. But I always want to know. They're like, yay. But I always want to, yay, confetti. But I always want to know, so does that mean that the issues that we have with one another, do those things stop? Does racism really stop existing during the latter part of the year. So let's talk about it, y'all. Does racism stop? Does it stop showing up? Does it stop happening? Do our relationships across cultures just automatically start healing? So I want to kick us right to MJ, because Michael Jackson said it doesn't matter if you're black or white. Shout out to him, because I believe that. But we're going to start off with a battle. White Santa versus Black Santa. Now, if you grew up in these United States of America, you know the Christmas story. You know the Christmas struggle of black mamas and daddies trying to find a black Santa, black angels. God help your soul if you're trying to recreate the nativity scene and trying to find anything that would be culturally relevant and connected. So we're going to kick it off with Black Santa versus White Santa first, and then we're going to go into some of the other things around the Christmas holidays. But I got to start with, how difficult was it for your parents, your loved ones, to find a Black Santa growing up? What were some of your childhood experiences around that?
I didn't know that wasn't even a thing. I didn't even know Black Santa was even a thing growing up. It was just that's just who it is, and we accept it.
We weren't big Santa Claus people in our family either. I mean, like we played the game of like, we know he's gonna say Santa, but we know it's Daddy, you know. So, but I don't think it was until I became an adult and had nephews where it was like, I need to find me a Black Santa. Where's that Santa at? Does he exist? Now I live down the street from South DeKalb Mall, where it's the mecca of Black Santa and Mrs. Claus. So every year they've got Black Santa Claus down the street, which is great. And if you are in the Decatur area, you should show up to see Black Santa.
That's a good point you just made, Dr. Danny. I want to take people there too. Go to the comments and let us know. Growing up, did you go to the mall and see Santa Claus? Was your Santa black? Was your Santa white? But I also want to ask this too, for parents that are watching, for those of us who grew up in school, let's also go back to school. When we were in school getting ready for the holiday season, was your Santa black or white? Were the resources that were presented to you in school, did it reflect where you came from, or did it reflect the generalized American Santa, which typically has been an old white guy with the beard who has been Santa? Like, how does that connect to us culturally? If you're a parent and you are in the comments, definitely let us know. But I want to get you guys' thoughts around, do you ever remember going to the mall? Did you take a picture with Santa? Was that Santa black? Was that Santa white? Does that have any impact on us?
I don't remember going to the mall to take pictures. And I think it was always white. It was always that American way, because we know in society, that's what was always pushed. And if you see enough of that, you begin to expect to see that. And I know as I've grown, I would automatically just go for the things that I was seeing. Now I'm like, wait, why was I choosing that? Why did I make that my norm? Because that's what was being shown. Now, I do remember seeing a Black Santa in Alabama in my teenage years. And I'm not sure, was it because the other one was sick or what? I don't know. But I don't remember. I don't think did I see a Black Santa this year? I think I did. I mean, I know there's some out there, but yeah. And the Black Santa, the Santas that I've been seeing, the different color ones that are like that we noticed, their beard is about as long as mine. I'm like, I thought Santa's beard was like long. No?
So we got a new school Santa. Superman has changed over time. Wonder Woman has changed over time.
I mean, like even with the Santa Claus, it was really interesting. Not even the elves were black. Like normally they got, the workers are black at least, but not even the elves were black. It was all white operation.
Yeah, I was confused by that too, because I was like, they work. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Oh my God,
but I was like, they working? Like they putting stuff together, they building this, like they go into the hood. I was shocked by that. I mean, these are questions that you gotta ask White Santa. You going to the hood?
We weren't even on the working. We weren't even the staff. No.
I mean, not even in the cooks. That's why them cookies be so. I'm sorry. Let me stop. But them cookies that they want to serve, I'm like, you can't even bite into this cookie because we weren't even in the kitchen.
Even the
Lord
photographer wasn't black.
Most black
The
people
photographer
can't
was
drink
all black
milk.
operation.
Like nobody cleaning up, nothing. Like the things that you would think traditionally that white people would not do, that we would be like, okay, well at least we're gonna see someone who's of color there. It was like y'all don't even exist.
But you know what's interesting? You say that, and I know this might deviate from the topic, but think about of the holidays. I can't remember any other holiday that focuses on color more than Christmas. White Christmas, white elephant, Black Friday, white Santa Claus, maybe a black Santa Claus,
white angels,
like
Snow White.
Snow White.
Even
the eggnog is white.
The snow is white, not the girl.
Even the snowman is white. I mean, I get it, but still.
Oh Lord, help us! No, this is good. But I'm about to mess y'all up with this next part two of this question.
When they think about the even remember putting out milk and cookies for Santa, you can tell that was white people, because black people don't be trying to drink milk like that because we be lactose intolerant, and we can't even get to the other house because we trying to find the restroom because we done drunk the milk that we weren't supposed to drink with our bodies.
JT, we be over there like this. Yoo-hoo! We need a yoo-hoo. Because there is no milk in there. That's a chocolate soda.
You need a yoo-hoo. Come on,
you need a yoo-hoo and some cookies.
Oreo. Do they still make yoo-hoos?
I don't know.
I don't know, but that is a good
Next big question of the day.
Right.
What they still make?
See, I can't stop doing that. Please move past yoo-hoo because I'm stuck there. Okay, now let me ask y'all this. I want to go there. Are Jesus and Santa friends or are they rivals?
You know what?
I want the church perspective. I want the church perspective. And we got to deal with this right now. I want it in the comments. Are Jesus Christ and Santa Claus friends or rivals? Drop in the comments and let us know. Because I don't understand. If I'm Jesus and I'm the King of Kings, I done showed up on this my birthday, baby. Santa Claus, you got to do like Beyonce said and move out the way, baby. Because this is my day.
All I gotta say is,
I'm just saying this. All
I gotta say is, Jesus was probably like Frank Lucas in American Gangster. He probably said to Santa Claus, "Ha, my man." That's probably what he said. Ha, my man. Really. That's why
I love the American Gangster analogy. You have won for today with that, because that is an amazing holiday season movie to watch. Okay, especially going into the new year. Get your team ready. All right, JT, what you think?
I mean, Jesus is friends with everybody.
Right.
The question is Santa friends to Jesus? Is Santa
That's a big question. That's a big question.
Jesus is his savior, or does he think he is the one that's making people happy? Jesus gives me joy even when I'm not getting gifts. So
he is the gift.
Don't do it, Dr. Dan. I almost took off running around the house. I'll run if I feel like it. So yeah. I don't think, Jesus is a friend to, Jesus is a friend to everybody. And that's my take on it. And I rather serve Jesus because he gives me gifts even when it's not the 25th on his birthday.
Ooh, you went there.
And Santa don't even have a birthday.
But guess what?
Have a day.
But see, Santa be a little partial. He's a little judgmental. And he got me in my feelings because Santa has that list, right? That naughty or nice list. And if you've been naughty, knowing good and well, it's hard to be nice all the time. You ain't gonna get no gifts. But Jesus, on the other hand, he doesn't have a naughty or nice list. He tries to get you right. He's like, if you've been bad, let me forgive you of your sins. Let me get you straight. Let me get you right. See, but Santa doesn't have a restoration program. He didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, you good or you bad? Then you don't get no gifts if you been bad.
That's
naughty
super
or
dope.
nice.
Naughty or nice.
Put some coal. Put some coal on my door. I'm gonna make a barbecue, and I'm gonna invite all your little elf friends down here to eat. And when you be wondering where them gifts at, they gonna be right here eating and chilling.
Not a barbecue.
It sounds
But come
personal.
on.
Barbecue.
The annual Christmas barbecue.
And guess what the featured meat is? The featured meat is deer.
We go into the barbecue at the North Pole, and the featured meat is deer. For the
Y'all
barbecue.
have messed me up though, because I didn't think about how much of us was not present in the portrayal of the North Pole and the elves and all of them. Like, we were nowhere.
Nowhere.
To be,
Down.
but let's be realistic. We were not present in the nativity scene either. And that's why I want to make that connection, is that
Yeah.
racism doesn't stop existing during the holidays because we're not even present in these things. Like, when they were created, it wasn't even a notion of inclusion, like at all,
Yeah.
nothing. And so I was always been curious as to when did the Black church start creating or painting, the angels to be black, or the pictures of Jesus that are in our churches? When did we start switching that over to represent us? I mean, it's a big question. Like, when did we actually come to the realization that we're seeing a white picture of Jesus and we don't really have a connection to that? So that may be a whole nother conversation too.
Shout out to Black Nativity. If you haven't
Yes.
seen it. Yes.
It was awesome.
Great
Y'all got to
representation.
go out and support that next year. If you have not, make sure you definitely check it out. I know I had a couple of people that I knew in that this year. So really, proud of them. Huge shout out to everyone in that production. So while we're on this conversation, got to ask this question for parents, for people who have kids in their families. How do we talk to kids present day about Santa? What conversations do we have?
These kids are so grown. You say Santa Claus, I go, they laugh in your face. Santa.
Right.
They're like, you believe in Santa? Because we don't.
No. Do we? I'm trying to think about my friends that have kids. I don't think I've heard them talk anything about Santa's coming. Like,
That's a huge thing, though. Think about that just for a minute. Like, where it is hilarious, the seriousness of it pierces my heart to say this: the innocence of children.
Yeah.
Being a teacher, I mean, in elementary school, it's like now the kids are like Santa, like younger kids are getting it. But it used to be where you would have to have a conversation with kids when they started to get 8 or 9 years old. It's like, okay, hey, Santa is daddy or grandpa or mama, right? But here is why we do this in tradition of, making sure A, B, and C is done, or whatever that may look like for your household. But I realize now it's like, you can be first, second grade. It's like, oh yeah, Santa, boo, give me my game. Give me. And so I'm like, wow, at such younger ages, kids are like, Santa who?
Well,
and give me.
Yeah, and there's become a greater emphasis, not on Santa, but the elves. Are y'all about this elf on the shelf phenomenon that's been going on?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Because when I guess you couldn't say any longer, well, Santa Claus isn't coming, folks started buying the elves and bringing the elves in the homes. And every day leading up to Christmas, the elf, if he didn't show up, that means you probably weren't going to get a gift. So they it was really interesting to see that. And I know recently there was a story about a little black girl who's 4 years old, who we think, like you're saying, Jason, those kids probably still believe in Santa. But this little girl was like looking for an elf. And she said, there are no black elves on here. I don't want an elf that doesn't look like me to come and tell me I've been naughty or nice. Where are the black elves on the shelf? So it's even in that, understanding the importance of representation and identity. And little kids want to see representation. even at that age.
Wow. That's yeah.
Of something that was created from somebody. It needs to be represented. I can see if Santa was a real person and they're depicting it from an actual person. But is it Chris Creek? Was Santa derived from somebody that was real, or was that something that was created?
It was probably all created, to be honest.
Yeah, so if it's been created, it can be any color. It can be any shades as being there. But like you said, where they're saying the elf on the shelf, I've seen more black elves on the shelf. I never done it. I didn't learn about it until I got into the school system of what that was. But I kind of want to have a kid during the time, because I kind of want to be the elf on the shelf so I can create the little cinematic moments and everything. And then after Christmas, I give the kid back. But yeah, I'm thrown with these questions today, y'all, because I just didn't know these elves was white. All of them we was not welcome at the North Pole. I'm just going to be there for a minute. I'm sorry. I'm just going to, be there for a minute because I'm just blown away. But keep going. I'm just...
First of all, JT, that whole segment right there just took me completely out, because I was stuck on the fact that I was shocked that nobody really paid attention to the comment about, right after the holidays, I'm gonna go ahead and return the child. I'm gonna take the child back. I'm like, what? We got too many. Don't give anybody ideas. We got too many. Literally, the week before Christmas, my mom was in an uproar because she was out getting stuff for the foundation, and cute little boy. She said it was a cute little boy, had to be maybe around 3 or 4 years old, had locks. So, anytime she sees somebody with locks, she thinks about me. And, little boy was just sitting there. She was shopping when it got stuff, and she noticed that she was leaving out. He was still sitting there. And someone came up to him and was like, hey, mom and dad, are they in the store? Do you need anything? Are you okay? And basically, to make the longer story short, the parents left the child, left him with a bag of clothes, like an outfit, and a tablet, and a charger with the tablet, and that was it.
Oh my goodness.
And they left. The child was like, what are your parents' names? I'm 2, 3, maybe 4 years old. What are your mommy? I mean, I'm just being honest, like, mommy, daddy, like, what is your phone number? Don't know what happened to this child, but I just thought about that when JT made that comment, and I was like, let's not give anybody ideas, because people are really doing that. And there are people who want to have children and raise families. So, public service announcement. If you know people who aren't doing the right things by kids, they don't want their children, let somebody know so we can get those kids so they can be in a place. Maybe they need to be with grandmother, they need to be with auntie, they need to be with someone that can really care for them and set them up for success, and not trauma that will, tear them apart. So I wanted to just throw that out there. Now, JT, Dr. Danny, I want to come into your households a little bit, because we've really been challenging the Christian faith around Christmas, Santa, Jesus, etc., so forth. But I want to ask this. I had the honor of being a founding special education teacher at Seven Pillars Career Academy, which is founded on the principles of Kwanzaa. And I am so shocked still to this day, just like Juneteenth, how there are so many Black and brown families and communities that are not connected to Kwanzaa. 7 principles of Kwanzaa that really, when you think about it, it's like, wow, these are things that we really should be doing to help empower. When I think about how we see families on the news crying about violence and sexual abuse and poverty and homelessness, and I'm like, but solutions to that are Kwanzaa. So I want to ask, how do we get more people invested in, connected to the celebration of Kwanzaa?
Well, full transparency, I have not celebrated Kwanzaa before. So maybe that's a question I need to ask you. How does somebody like me get involved? What is the first step to celebrating?
Well, here we go. So today, the day of our show, actually kicks off the first day of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is an annual celebration, right? That is an African American celebration. It's connected to our culture. And the reason why I love Kwanzaa so much is because it really gets into principles that help us as a culture, as a community. A lot of people, especially in our community, felt like, let me tell you this, let me say this, and I know black people are gonna be upset. I feel like black people in the church took war against Kwanzaa and let Santa do whatever Santa wanted to do.
Come on.
So Santa was white, Santa was not diverse, Santa won't come into the hood, the elves weren't diverse, the reindeer, they didn't even like dark meat. Okay? So let me just put that out there. The black community let Santa do whatever Santa wanted to do and did not represent or include us. Yet when our own people created a cultural celebration, Kwanzaa, it was not embraced by the church because the church felt like, oh, this is going to go against Jesus. This is going to go against Christ, when really the holiday is not related to nor intended to supplant the Christian holiday. It was intended to really resemble more of Jewish celebratory things around the holiday that really empowered our community physically, spiritually, emotionally, economically. So yes, that's just a little history around Kwanzaa. I have my book. I have a book that I actually use for Kwanzaa that I teach out of for my students. And I learned about Kwanzaa from family, Shrine of the Black Madonna, and also from my teachers in school. So shout out to school teachers that actually said, Santa don't want to show up in the hood because Santa don't show no love to the ghetto. Y'all don't remember that song, Santa? Come to the ghetto. Okay, so yeah,
he don't go to the
Kwanzaa
ghetto?
shows us love. Yeah, Santa don't come to the ghetto, brother.
I thought it was Santa go straight to the ghetto. I can't remember.
Yeah, Santa go straight to the ghetto.
I probably won't be using Santa after this show anymore because it just has not been. I haven't really paid attention to the stuff just because I don't really engage in that type of stuff. But now we really not going to, because he don't. Listen, I just found out that Michael Jackson's song about called Santa Kissing, I always thought he was trying to say his mama was being a little promiscuous. I didn't know that he was talking about the daddy was dressed up as Santa Claus. I thought he was just like, oh my God, my mama was kissing another woman. And I'm like,
Santa Claus, and
I
then
thought Santa
like
Claus
daddy
was
is Santa
cheating
Claus.
on Miss Claus. I thought she was cheating. It wasn't until I was driving this week. I was like, wait, he was talking about his daddy. Lord, I done put Santa in a couple counseling, all of it.
That's all right, baby. Get him that card for therapy, honey. Give him that card for therapy. JT gonna need some therapy after this session.
Yeah. But listen, I am a friend of God. I don't know if I'm a friend of Santa. I don't know. All right, listen, I want to go over the 7 principles of Kwanzaa right quick, just to, kind of familiarize people with it. Umoja means unity. This is to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. All right. So on the first day of Kwanzaa, we are celebrating unity today. Now, celebration means what actions are you putting forth? So I need y'all to take some notes because I feel like I might have to go on ahead and teach a little bit today. We're striving for ways to maintain unity. So Black and brown communities, I'm going to throw this out here. We have a gang issue, right? In the Black community, we have a gang issue with the Black and brown community, right? With Latino and Black communities in regards to gang violence. How are we unifying? How are we unifying our families from people who we haven't talked to, right? So this is helping us to do that work around how do we unify on these things. So Umoja means unity. That's the first day of Kwanzaa. That's how we kick it off. That's what we're celebrating. That's what we're being intentional about. A part of the celebration means lighting up candles. right? So even if you don't have your Kwanzaa set or your Kwanzaa candles, you can be intentional about lighting a candle each day for these things. Now, Kujichagulia means self-determination. That's the next day. Of course, these are African-centered names. I love these names. I remember Miss O'Kelly, who I taught with at Bunch Middle School. She was phenomenal with this, and I will never forget. One year when I was moved. Oh man, I want to say I was moved to 8th grade. I was moved to 8th grade, and Miss O'Kelly was over our theme. She was the team lead, and every homeroom had a name from Kwanzaa. So that's how our students got connected with it, and were able to practice using the names. And so Kujichagulia is self-determination. And how do you plan on being successful? What is your plan? What is your strategy? So on the next day, that's what you're focusing on. You light your candle, you put in the atmosphere, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, what are your goals that you want to set. Dr. Danny, you raise your hand. Go ahead.
I did have so with each one of these days, you have like a activity that you do, or?
Yes, there are different activities that you can do with your family, with your loved ones. There are different ways that you can celebrate. I'm calling people to action around planning, because I feel like do the activities, but also do the planning work, because it's not just for you to celebrate on that day. It's the acknowledgement on that day, but it's for you to implement this in your life. So I feel like this part of the show, especially with the I Win Morning Show, we want people to win. And Kwanzaa gives us the principles of how to do it. So Ujima is the next day, is day 3. Ujima means collective work and responsibility. I am my brother's keeper. So if Dr. Danny is going through, she's battling with grief, I am my sister's keeper. I have a responsibility to show up in the space to say, sis, whatever you need, I'm here. I'm connecting with you. You're not going through this alone. Collective work and responsibility. We have a responsibility to each other, right? So think about, this is healing work. This is the work that we need to see happening with families and in our community and with our students, with our loved ones, with our seniors, with dads, with moms. So powerful. All right. So that's Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Day 4 is Ujama, cooperative economics. That means what we've been talking about on our show, guys, with you have a small business or a nonprofit, that Giving Tuesday in the Black culture of, through Kwanzaa, we support Giving Tuesday, but what Kwanzaa is telling us is that cooperative economics is something that is daily. How are we investing in each other daily, and not just financially? How am I pouring into you? How am I sowing into you? So, in my mind, hearing this growing up and seeing how powerful this was for those in our communities that practice this, I'm like, wow, if we have more people in the Black community that we're doing this, talk about economic power, talking about the decrease of poverty and, mental health crisis that's impacting our community. Day 5, Nia. Shout out to my colleague and coworker, Nia. Nia means purpose.
Ooh, Nia.
What is our purpose individually, collectively, as a body of Christ, or, as a Muslim faith? What is our purpose individually, as groups, but also collectively? What is our purpose? How do we connect? Nia is important because this forces us to have focused conversations with people, getting to know, right? All right, we got 2 more, y'all. Kumba means creativity. Now, y'all are creatives, so y'all got to get into this. Creatives, connecting. How are we telling our stories? How are we building, right? All of that connects to creativity. That's Kumba. And then the last one is Imani, which is faith. What do we believe in? Who do we believe we are? And so these are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Now, you think about a school like 7 Pillars that is founded on this, and now we're bringing students together from different walks of life, from different cultures that are focused in on this. So we're not bettering our community just as Christians or just as Muslims or just as whatever your faith walk is. We are doing it collectively, but we're doing it individually, and then we're doing it also in our small groups. And so that's why I love Kwanzaa. It gives us a 3-tier. It gives us what we're doing as individuals. It gives us what we're doing as small groups. And then it forces us to look at how we're doing that work collectively. So if you don't know a little bit about Kwanzaa, definitely check it out. See how your schools are celebrating this. Even challenge your churches to look at how they can be getting more connected to the principles of Kwanzaa. So that was the spiel on Kwanzaa, y'all. Get connected to that. It's an everyday practice. How are we building? Yes. Now, Dr. Danny, JT, I got to go here and ask y'all about this too. So we talked about Kwanzaa. We talked about Black Santa versus White Santa. We talked about the nativity scene up on at the churches. But now I do want to talk about this. And I just want to ask this, because I don't know if this has some kind of spiritual connection to the Black community. But fruitcake. Where did fruitcake come from?
I don't know.
And who ordained this to be a holiday treat? Somebody help me, please. I just want to know.
Have you ever
because I'm coming to eggnog next, but fruitcake.
Have you ever looked at the fruitcake?
I get nauseated talking about it.
I don't understand it. Like, it doesn't look edible. Have y'all ever tried it?
No, I don't. What is it?
I'm afraid, and I eat everything, but I'm afraid.
Who eats fruitcake? Somebody go in the comment. Let me know. I don't know if it's because I have Abernathy Towers. You know, we've adopted a senior community through the foundation. Shout out to Lily's Foundation. And I can tell you, in visiting and supporting these, I haven't seen them with no fruitcake. Nobody's asking about it. I don't know. All I know is that when I go into the dollar store and the Dollar Tree and the Family Dollar, it's all these fruitcake and people in the hood. I haven't seen somebody buying them. Somebody help me, please. I just want to know who is eating fruitcake and where does it come from? Somebody help us, please.
I don't know, but I refuse to try it.
Lord, somebody got to let us know. We got to figure out this mystery. JT, I think he got the recipe,
Romans. Fruitcake is an ancient goodie with the oldest version of sort of energy bar made by the Romans to sustain their soldiers in battle. The Roman fruitcake was a mash of barley, honey, wine, and dried fruit, often pomegranate seeds.
And how do you tie that in with Christmas?
So basically, it's a Nutri-Grain bar.
Christmas. Over the time, fruitcake was solely attached to Christmas tradition. It began as a ceremonial type of cake made to celebrate specific harvests. England passed laws restricting the use of cake to holidays, which slowly spread the concept in that direction.
Well, you know what? Maybe they got drinking of the wine confused with fruitcake, because I did hear you mention that there was wine in the fruitcake. You know, Christians, they like the drinking of the wine because it represents.
Oh, I'm getting nauseous.
You know, communion. So maybe upward Christian soldiers, maybe they were like, we got to get these Christian soldiers these Nutri-Grain fruitcake bars, because they're gonna give them strength to carry on the work.
Listen,
maybe that's how.
Listen to this.
I
did get excited about this though. Listen, I said, what is fruitcake made of? It said candied or dried fruit, nuts, and spices, and optionally soaked in spirits.
Yeah, that onward Christian soldier, they were like, in order for them to make the battle, they've got to have these spirits to help them, and they put it in the form of a Nutri-Grain bar wrapped up and called a fruitcake. See, the fruitcake is the modern day Nutri-Grain bar. I just helped y'all out. I just helped the people. Nutri-Grain bar without the spirits in it. That's what it is.
Nutri-Grain, but Nutri-Grain bar is better.
Yeah. It is.
I like the apple cinnamon one.
But you might not be able to fight a battle eating a Nutri-Grain bar, so you're gonna need the strength.
Because you wanna know why?
Now,
Because
Nutri-Grain be
fight
coming
my
through, though.
battles.
When that school breakfast
my
don't be
battle.
hitting, you got that Nutri-Grain bar. It's gonna take you all the way to lunchtime. That is kid tested and approved because
Let me
I
tell
have
y'all
seen
something.
it many a day.
If 2023 is anything like 2022, we all gonna need a fruitcake. Need the strength.
You may have some fruitcakes in your.
We ready for the battle.
You may have some fruitcakes in your life already. I don't know. Listen, y'all, it is the end of the year. Before we get ready to close out, I got a couple of series of questions that I've got to ask Dr. Danny and JT, the brand master. And I'm going to ask it because who's going to stop me? Who's going to check me, boo?
The fruitcake.
First question. Okay. I got to ask y'all this, though. Just end of the year stuff. Album of the year. What was your album of this year? You already know I'm coming to album. I'm going to ask you about book. I'm going to ask you about song. I'm going to ask you about movie. So go ahead and be thinking about all those things in your head. If you're listening, watching this live, you can drop in the comments as well. But we closing out 2022. We're going to start with best album. What is the album of the year in your opinion for 2022?
I don't
Renaissance.
Okay.
I would definitely say Renaissance was on my favorites list this year. I would say Renaissance. Dr. Danny, go ahead and get into it. Yeah, get into Renaissance. Now, let me ask y'all, what's your movie?
Y'all, I gotta say Till. Till did it for me. Have y'all seen it? Let me tell you.
I did not see Till. I wanted to see Till, and I should have gone to see it. I am going to view it, though.
Yes.
But I have not seen it yet.
Yes.
But I will say I've heard good reviews about Till.
Yes.
And a colleague of mine is friends with the director, and one of the biggest things that they were pushing around the movie is that it wasn't a traditional type of, sad story that people are like, oh, I don't like slave narratives and civil rights. I'm tired of that. I'm like, y'all tired of that, but the reality is this is a part of our story. So I think that the movie was great, and looking forward to seeing it. So I definitely would say Till is up in the running. I would say The Woman King. Oh yeah, The Woman King is up in the running, as well as Black Panther. I'm gonna say no. Let me not just say Black Panther 2, because Emancipation, which y'all can still go and check out, that has been out for about 2 weeks now. Emancipation with Will Smith. Y'all get over the drama with Will Smith and Chris Rock. That's a whole nother conversation. But this movie, Emancipation, is it's not what y'all think. I think everybody really needs to check that out, especially closing out this year. JT, what's yours?
I don't have one. I have many.
Oh.
Okay.
Bullet Train.
Okay.
Bullet Train. Black Adam.
Okay, Black Adam.
And that was good. And Top Gun.
Top Gun.
That's a classic. Yeah.
Come on, Top Gun.
That Top Gun Maverick. I was in 4DX. I put my seatbelt on, and I was just flying with them. When they was turning, I was just going with them.
Hilarious.
Listen.
So it's the Top Gun. Never mind. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Okay, now we did movies. We did albums. What is the dance of this year?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still stuck on that. Oh my goodness. What is that?
Because Patti LaBelle used to do that.
When they be like,
oh no, but that's more of a that.
I look like I'm having a seizure. I can't.
oh
Yeah.
Oh, that's that funky chicken right there, huh?
Yeah, that was the Patti LaBelle. That was kind of
try
what
that.
it looked like you were doing.
Okay.
The Patti LaBelle.
Oh.
Okay. That was a little fun, y'all. Y'all can tell that we not the Christians that go in the club and they be clubbing. I'm not gonna twerk for y'all on the
So not. I sit and watch everybody else.
I ain't gonna do that on the morning show. Help us, God. All right, listen. We closing out 2022. We are at the end of the show. Happy New Year, everyone. We cannot wait to be back in 2023 with the I Win Morning Show because we are winning. We are going to win. And I had one more question because we're almost at 2 minutes. So, Dr. Danny, JT, what are your visions for 2023? Visions. That means what you vision for yourself, for your family, for loved ones, for us collectively.
To be more disciplined, consistent, and expansion across the board.
I would say to reap a harvest that I've been planting for the past 12 months. I am in the season of reaping, and reaping not just for myself, but on behalf of all those who've supported me and those who are reaping and sowing with me. Let's see this stuff grow.
I love that. I'm putting out creativity, innovation in the space that we will reclaim our time with creating new memories, creating new traditions, and not being afraid to change the status quo of the way that we've just always done things. So think differently, think outside of the box, but most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the Educational Entities YouTube channel to get connected to powerful conversations that come through platforms like the I Win Morning Show. With that being said, y'all, Happy New Year, confetti!
It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday, Dr. Danny. Hey, happy birthday, Dr. Danny. Now, I don't know why JT want to leave us so bad. You don't take yourself off. You don't take yourself off and black us out. I'm talking to that internet spirit right now.
Right? He is playing hide and seek. Come back.
It's okay. JT, we know that you're still going through it with internet. It's all good. But listen, guys, we are excited and ready to get on out of here. So with that being said, peace and love, everybody. We'll see you in 2023 for the morning show. We are also looking for somebody to do a jingle for us. So if you have a jingle, not jingle jangle, or not jingle if you're ready to mingle.
If you're single and you also jingle, hit us up.
If you single and you also jingle and you got a jangle with your jingle, all of that, hey. But if you have a jingle for the I Win Morning Show, you got to let us know. I like something with a little hand clap, with a little, hey. I like the little choir move. Come on, y'all. All right, praise the Lord. JT, we done, brother.
All right. Bye.
I think you got to hang us up because my
No. Bye, JT.
Bye.
JT, look, we win.